always, it is a great honor to be able to come and speak to the brotherhood. When I speak to the brotherhood and the sisterhood, I speak to the multitude. I speak to the mixed multitude that exists. My brothers and my sisters, we have a calamity going on in this country, and you made mention of the fact that what's happening in Chicago is not only happening in Chicago, but it's happening here in St. Louis and Detroit and other parts of the country. I often wonder, what is happening? What is happening? What is causing this upheaval? Could it be the prayers that you have said are actually at work? Could it be the things that we are asking? This is the steps that are being used to purify and make known what is being said. Hopefully in this lesson, we'll address all of those things. But first, we will have a history lesson. History is our most prized possession. And the title of this lesson is The Great God Khem. Before I get into the lesson, there are 2 or 3 parts to this lesson that I'd like to bring to you and have you consider what is being said. One of them is entitled Religion as a State of Mind. Another one is entitled Jaise. Another one is entitled The Planet. I won't bombard you with all of them today. Sheikh Amsi has asked me to speak next week also. So I'll try to incorporate those lessons into next week's sermon also. When I speak to a multitude. There are multitudes of people here. There are multitudes of people listening or wanting to hear this message. So I speak to you. Bism Leuli Mihiru Amin Roch, the great God Khem. The Book of Khem, 50,000 years of history. The 6th chapter of Genesis is the history of the mighty Khem, whose name is Min, or Amen, the mighty Rahman, of Isis-Il and Amen, more than 43,000 years before Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Great Pyramids of Sufi was built and contained no religious inscriptions, whatever, as it was built before the religious system was developed, the crown of masonry. People have made treks to Egypt trying to find the mysteries. What does those pyramids imply? What does that Sphinx imply? What is it trying to say? They look for religious items in the pyramids and there was none, and they did not know exactly why. We are given the explanation as to why no religious inscriptions were in those pyramids. It was because the pyramids were built before there was a so-called religious insurgent. So it tells you, brother, we're talking about something that is pretty old. It's pretty old. The land of Khem becomes the land of Ham after the religious system was developed. Khem was the first and oldest name of the land. The light of lights, all powerful yet serene, peaceful. A witness to the majesty of God, and Khem is Ham. Revelations 3:14, Isaiah 65:16. Khem was a god and was a father of gods, and the sons of God were his sons, 34,000 years before Adam. What we're trying to do, brothers and sisters, is give you an idea as to when these things happen. 34,000 years, 50,000 years, 40,000 years. We're trying to give you a definite date as to when these things came about. Because you will have to go and explain these to other people when you say that we are followers of this idea. You'll have to have your facts. Having dates gives credibility to what it is that you're trying to perpetuate. I say again, Khem was a god and was a father of gods, and the sons of God were his sons, 34,000 years before Adam. Read the 6th chapter of Genesis. During the planning of the building of Sufi's great pyramids were being constructed in the land of Khem by the 4th dynasty of the 3 families of 6,000 years, thus puts Islam, not Islam, 44,000 years ahead of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and 34,000 years before Adam of the Hebrews. For this information, read Genesis 2nd chapter, verse 7 and 8 and 24. Compare this with Revelations 3:14 and Isaiah 65:16, which will make the history of Ham clearer. Khem means strength, and Khem means the praised one, Hamdu. Khem, Amen, Ra, and Fahami, and all the gods are rolled into the one, Fahami Wa. Let me go back a minute. And this particular thing seems to have been pushed to the side. Black people have always strived harder to be accepted. We've worked harder to be accepted in this man's world. And that was the nature of the so-called black man. What has happened that we don't strive anymore? Could it be that we think that we have arrived? We had to outdo the quarterback, so to speak, who they said that he could not play football because no black man had the mentality to be a quarterback. So we showed them that we had the mentality to do that very thing. And we've strived. What has happened to that drive? Have we abandoned that? Have we arrived? There has always been gods and goddesses in religion. But the state of mind was a condition of the people, as with respect to constitution, which was a way in which the people were organized by nature. The real makeup brought about a system of fundamental principles according to which the people of that time were governed, brought into being gods and goddesses from the word word. What we're saying here is this. Isaiah 65:16 makes mention of the fact that unto the church, the Laodiceans, writes these things, saith the Amen, the true witness to the creation of God. The Rasul has placed it in our Fahami Gospels that we are the fathers of all religions. Brothers and sisters, you have to be able to explain exactly what that means. Simply because you have so many religions that exist today, for you to come along and make the claim that you are the fathers of all religions, you have to explain how you became the fathers of all religions. If you cannot explain it, then it will fall on deaf ears. But if you can explain it, at least it will give the people something to hang their hat on, so to speak. By saying, I am the fathers of all mankind. How did you become the fathers of all mankind? You became the fathers of all mankind because nobody as yet, up to now, has stepped forward and made that claim. No other group has stepped forward. Christianity has not stepped forward and said that they are the fathers of all mankind. Hinduism, Buddhism, all of the isms, none of them have stepped forward to say we are the fathers of all mankind. Not the fathers of just this person or that person, but the fathers of all mankind. Which means that from these loins, religion emerged. It was our ancestors that first introduced the idea of religion. From this knowledge, as was explained in another subject, brought about the high style of living and dignity. This changeover brought about changes in their functions of culture or religions of early times of long ago. What we're talking about here, we're talking about religion in its infancy. Remember now, the people had no concept of religion at first. And then the idea or the conception of religion was first introduced. They had no basic foundation to say how this is to come about. How it